generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. 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 You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. Casting on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Season 3.5 of the Owlet Miners Tournament. Today we have a makeup match between Kraken Skulls and Odyssey Esports. I'm Reuniclus, and I'm joined by StuffNThangs on the color, with Teddy on production. StuffNThangs, anything you're specifically looking for between these two teams today?
So I think this is going to be an interesting match because what we have right now is a team that is, lower seeded than everyone else, and we have a team that is looking to make their way into the playoffs. And when you look at what these teams have been playing, we're looking at Double Bubble versus Orion Zarya or Orion Diva look, and that's going to be really interesting as to how those two actually work into each other.
Yeah, I agree. Just to specify, Odyssey Esports is currently in 7th place in the minors, while Kraken Skulls is in 10th place. Keep in mind, Odyssey Esports has played 2 fewer games than any of the other teams, and there's 1 more game left in the regular season. So they have a lot of opportunities to improve their record and improve their ranking before the playoffs. The top 5 teams in the rankings will be in the playoffs at the end of the season. So Odyssey Esports getting a good win today, or even a sweep to improve their map differential, could be huge.
Yeah, but don't count out Kraken Skulls just yet because that Double Bubble can be havoc on a Orion Zarya comp that's not ready for it.
Yeah, I agree. And Kraken Skulls, I'm sure, is looking to leave a good impression going out of the season. I'm sure they'd like to get a win or two coming out. Even though they're out of playoff contention, I'm sure they're still looking for a win. So are there any players that are standing out to you today?
I'm a main tank player myself. I'm going to be watching the tanks for today. We should be seeing a Reinhardt on one end and a Winston on the other, so we're going to have a good show for tanks, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to watch teams in leagues like these minor leagues run the dive, and their team chemistry really gets put to the test when they go up against a team that's running a rush comp that might be able to shut down that dive, and just the interactions between those two compositions. It'll be really interesting to see that.
Yeah, and a lot's also going to come down to the supports to keep those tanks alive. To quote SVB, if your tank thinks he's carrying, your support is actually the one that's carrying. So especially running up against the Winston, we're going to have to see what the supports are made of and if they can stay alive through those dives.
Yeah, I agree. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the main tanks from both teams to be keeping their for the main supports on both teams to be keeping their main tanks up throughout these series. And we're going to be heading into Busan for our first map here. What kind of team compositions or strategies are you looking for here on Busan stuff?
So here on Mecha Base, it's pretty all over the place as far as you can get brawls, you can see dives, you can see some double off tank, although I don't think we'll see much of that this evening.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen Kraken Skulls play almost everything you could imagine, but I'm guessing Odyssey is going to be coming out with something brawlier this time. In about 8 seconds, we'll be seeing what these players are picking.
Yeah, we all know that the brawl comps are the most fun to watch.
That's for sure.
That coming from a Reinhardt player.
it's looking like we're going to be seeing Kraken Skulls coming out with the double off-tank Zarya Hog composition. And on the other side, we're seeing more double shield Sigma Rhine kind of thing coming out from Odyssey.
Okay. So with that, we're looking at the new double off tank. That's the new hotness versus the old guard of double shield. So we'll just have to see what works out best.
All right, and we'll see what's going on here. Looks like both teams are going to come up and meet each other on the high ground. The engagement with the Sigma shield, being bursted down by Muddy Snaps on Roadhog, misses a hook there. Reinhardt for Odyssey is going to be taking the point pressure. Zebra Cookie finds Muddy Snaps with the Ash and finds a nice dynamite in onto Kraken Skulls. As Pichio hits back on that Sigma. Kraken is getting a couple good picks here, and it's looking like Odyssey's going to take the point, but Kraken is striking back, so they're probably going to end up cleaning the fight up and taking the point control back here.
Blank is having a field day right now on that Ash, just absolutely decimating the team, and a lot of it has to do with this Mercy Pocket as well.
Yeah, Blank getting pocketed really well by Reiku, and hits another good damage boosted dynamite in there as the Pyre from Final Gambit comes in and catches two.
That is
Blank
huge. That gives
Blank
them
is
the
gonna
open
have
for
that-
3.
That's 3 picks off on Kraken Skulls, but the Bob comes out from Blank to try to get a little bit of more damage off as Paradroid comes out with the window to get some damage down on there. I don't know if Kraken Skulls is going to be able to recontest this. Blue Boxers trying to get some pressure on the point, but gets bursted down by Zebra Cookie. Zebra Cookie getting some good kills here. And the DPS from Odyssey are really pulling the weight here.
Yeah, and we have support ult used on the side of Kraken Skulls. Not so sure about that, but we do have a Riptire and a Coalescence coming up, so there should be a fast engagement here.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see another fast engagement. They're holding at the door, Odyssey is, with the Zarya. It's interesting, without a main tank, well, they have switched to Winston. Without a main shield tank, though, it is kind of hard to hold here at the door, because the teams will be able to just walk in and pump some damage in. As the Riptire comes in from Kraken Skulls, hasn't found anything.
There's
But
3 ultimates out on the side of Kraken Skulls. They really want this win.
yeah, and with 3 ultimates out, they're going to be wanting to look for point control here, or else those were wasted. But Odyssey doing a great job of fending the team off. Final Gambit with a good kill on the Muddy Snaps there. As Blank is looking to send some shots in from above to help his team take the point.
It's actually much more even than kill feed might have you believe.
Yeah, that's right. Both Ashes looking to fire off on the high ground here, but it looks like Odyssey's going to get the better of Kraken Skulls, which is really interesting considering the
Odyssey just appears to be more coordinated with the way that they're going in, and then they appear to be focusing down targets faster, which you wouldn't expect. Well, I suppose you would expect it looking at the standings, but usually double off tank is pretty solid against that, as they can just fight back with a lot of firepower.
As Kraken engages from the bottom corner, a Riptire comes in, but that is denied by Blank. Moritron's grab comes out, and Paradroids, they're using all their ults here from the side of Odyssey, just looking to hold on to this point a little bit longer as the overtime ticks down. It's going to look like Odyssey is going to be taking the first map here.
That's interesting that they brought out the double bubble, given the Roadhog and the Junkrat on the other side, but it appears to have worked out. It just appeared to be the more coordinated team overall.
Yeah, I think they did a great job of dealing with the ults out of Kraken Skulls, and Odyssey just looks to be the more put-together team here right now. We've seen a little bit of greatness out of the DPS players from both sides, so it'll be interesting to see if maybe Kraken Skulls can get some DPS pop-off here to make some plays happen.
Odyssey Esports switching here to the full dive. Nope, they're back to the Zarya. We will see a Pharah coming out against a Widow. We'll see how long that lasts.
And a Tracer as well coming out on the side of Kraken Skulls. I don't know how this fair is going to fare against the Widow.
I don't expect her to hold up well against Widow. But we got a support player that's late for Kraken Skulls. They just swapped Moira.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, and there it is. Zebra Cookie takes down Blue Boxers on the Pharah, and Odyssey is now up 2. Make that 3. They're going to be taking this point pretty easily. Just going to need to do a little bit of cleanup. Looks like they're going to be taking first control.
Yeah, it's so difficult to run a Pharah Mercy into a Widow that is on top of her game, and right now Zebra Cookie is on top of their game.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Blue Boxers to stay on that Pharah, but we haven't seen the swap yet, so we'll see what happens there.
We'll see if she can make something work with it.
Yeah, it's looking like they're not going to be swapping off that Pharah Mercy, and they're going to be coming in and engaging on the left side of the point here. Frontline engagement coming in. Zebra Cookie finds Blue Boxers again. Zebra Cookie just popping off here. The Odyssey's not able to deny the res from Reiku, though. Paradroid finds Muddy Snaps, and it looks like this is going to be another pretty clean win for Odyssey.
So if I'm Kraken Skulls right now, I'm looking to get off of this double off tank, because when you have a Widow that is able to hit shots like that, you have to have something that can contest her.
Yeah, I agree. They were running. They have been known to run Sigma every once in a while, but there they are switching to the Winston.
There's the Winston Hog. That's a interesting composition. Usually you see Winston Zarya, but if they feel comfortable on this Hog, and the Hog can land hooks, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, that should be a decent counter to the comp that's coming out from Odyssey as they engage here on this left side again. The Primal Rage is coming out from Hale. Final Gambit finds Muddy Snaps on that Junkrat. As Blank is trying to make something happen here on Tracer, the Immortality here comes out from Peridot, and Keisha Copper is found again. Trying to get some contest in here with the Mercy and the Reaper on point, but it looks like nothing's going to be happening here for Kraken, and they're going to be sent packing back to the spawn again.
Oh, just to be a broken record here, it just looks like Odyssey is more prepared for this match, more focused and more coordinated, and taking down targets together, on top of having DPS players that are absolutely popping right now.
The grab comes out from More Neutron. There's going to be a last-second contest in here from Blue Boxers, but I don't think anything's going to be able to come out of this for Kraken Skulls. And
No,
as overtime ticks down again with a team kill, that'll be the map for Odyssey.
A convincing map at that. Yeah, the DPS players for Odyssey just really dominated that last map, and then yeah, the comp is just something that can't be understated here. When you run double off tank into snipers, you're telling the snipers that they are basically going to get to do their job for free.
Yeah, it's more or less a taunt, like shoot me, and Odyssey's DPS players definitely responding on that. Zebra Cookie with some great shots there, some great opening picks, and really the reason why they're able to open up these fights and close them out is because of the sniping success that they're having. We're going to be moving on to another map here. Kraken Skulls is going to have their choice. What do you think Kraken Skulls needs to do on the next map to get back into the swing of things?
Well, it looks like we're going to be going to Havana, so what they're really going to need is they're going to need their snipers to perform on Havana and to really punish the other DPS. If they can do that, then they should be able to swing the fight back. We've seen Blank pop off already in this series, so hopefully they can just keep doing more of that on top of dealing with the tanks as well.
A lot of it has to do with the chemistry, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you said the Odyssey looks like they're just working better together, and they're dealing with what's being put in front of them better than Kraken is. And in order for Kraken to come back, they're going to need to really get it together, make sure their calls are on point, and again, make sure they're shutting down Odyssey's DPS, especially if they're playing snipers. And if we're going to Havana, that's definitely something they're going to need to emphasize.
Yeah, and they're also going to have to shut down the enemy snipers when they're out there. I don't think double off tank is going to be the play here. I think you need to run something that has a shield or let one of these tanks just contest the snipers. We have a substitution coming in here.
Yeah, I agree. Looks like Odyssey is going to be switching things up here on the DPS slot. We're going to see who's coming in here for a second. Who did they take out? Oh, my bad. Anyway, so yeah, Havana, an escort map. Things can get dicey on Havana. I feel like Kraken Skulls is going to have to do a little bit better of a job at managing their ultimate economy as well. You've seen a couple fights where they have invested a lot of ults and not gotten much out of it, not even gotten point control or anything, even when they take the lead in terms of picks at the beginning of the fight. So they're definitely going to have to get a little bit more disciplined on that front.
Oh, absolutely. And discipline with your ultimates can be the difference between a win and a loss. And especially on Havana, where those last bits of a point can be so hard to take because the spawns are just so far away. I will be curious to see if we see a close hold from Odyssey, given that their comp has had a main tank and isn't running double off tank.
Yeah, that is something we have seen before from teams in the minors. Is that that close hold? It ends up getting you 3 fights on the first phase of Havana if you play it correctly and die on the point. We've seen Symmetras in that sort of situation, all kinds of stuff. It really is a great strategy to buy yourself some time if you can execute it properly.
And I'm assuming that we'll get to a third point as well, in which case we might get to see Zebra Cookie having more fun on the Widow.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that coming out from the side of Odyssey.
Yeah, because who doesn't love watching a good Widow have fun on a map? Unless you're the enemy
That's
team.
right. That's right, and it can feel so oppressive. I mean, it can often feel like there's nothing that can be done, but there really is something that can be done, and that's you can pick a shield tank and you can hold that big blue box up in front, and you can put pressure on that sniper to hit shots on those off angles. So we're heading here into Havana. About 20 seconds, we'll see what these two teams are running. Any predictions?
I don't think we'll see it, but I'd like to see a Sigma brought out against one of these snipers. You put the shield in their face, or you could run the Winston so you could, get on them in a hurry and then just harass them for the game.
Yeah, I fully agree. A Sigma would be a great choice here, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a Sigma come out on the side of Odyssey, and we're going to be seeing what looks like to be a pirate ship strategy coming out from Kraken Skulls. Very interesting. Bastion's always something that can work in a tournament like this. I don't know if Odyssey is going to be expecting that.
No, and coming out of spawn especially, it looks like Kraken Skulls is going to try to hold close, in which case that Bastion might be more than they can handle.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see what happens here. Kraken Skulls on attack, Odyssey on defense. It looks like they are going with that Symmetra strategy, setting up the teleporters outside of spawn and holding close. As Kraken Skulls comes out the left side of the spawn and sets up that double shield in the Bastion. They're not quite on the payload yet. Final Gambit picks up the kill onto Blue Boxers, and it looks like Odyssey is going to be taking the better of Kraken Skulls in this first fight. Oh wait, no. Kraken Skulls fighting back. Looks like they're going to be able to manage to clean this up. Zebra Cookie, the only player left on the side of Odyssey, still firing shots in and picking up picks. Kraken Skulls is going to need to set themselves up here on the payload with their shields if they want to contest that Widow. Otherwise, they're going to need to be staying behind cover.
Even though Kraken won that fight, we can see there's almost been a full minute removed from the time bank right now, and Odyssey is ready to defend where the first hold traditionally would be.
Right, as Kraken tries to come around that corner, get their Bastion set up. Their shields are getting bursted down, however, but Blue Boxers does find the pick onto Zebra Cookie. And that's 2 picks for Kraken Skulls. The Bastion is not going very contested on that payload.
Never discount a pirate ship. It can always do more than you think it can, and Bastion is so dangerous when he doesn't have a counter or when a team isn't fully committing to contesting it, especially with double shields. It's hard to remove.
That's right. It's one of those comps that's kind of hard to stop once it gets going, and it's looking like neither team really has an ult to...
Nano Bastion! That is very interesting.
A Molten Core out from the side of Kraken Skulls. I don't see Odyssey being able to break this defense anytime soon. I say that as more Neutron gets a pick onto Money Snaps. It's looking like they're going to take control of the payload and push down onto Kraken Skulls. Zebra Cookie finds Kua. They're going to push Kraken Skulls back to spawn.
Yeah, and if you're Kraken Skulls right now, that is a hard pill to swallow after investing the Molten Core and the Nano at the same time and to still not keep the point.
Yeah, especially when you look at the ult banks now. Odyssey now has 4 ults as compared to, well, I guess 4 on the side of Kraken Skulls, but they're in a much better defensive position against this Bastion when he's not set up on the payload.
Yeah, because from here, Bastion, Supercharger.
Supercharger comes out on the side of Kraken, and every team is investing ults here. The Bastion ult comes out, Lucio ult coming out from the side of Odyssey. We're gonna get some exchanges. Digibit gets a res off, hammer down. Every single ult getting invested here. The Flux, the Earth Shatter, we have everything. But it's looking like Odyssey's going to get the better of this exchange, which is very important considering how much everybody's invested in. Looks like they're going to be going in on the cleanup. More Neutron getting a lot of kills here, putting in a lot of work on that signal.
I want to emphasize, when you said every ult getting invested, it was literally every ult was invested into that fight.
It really was. It was chaos. As the Riptire comes in for Final Gambit and finds 3!
Massive. That is especially massive going into last fight territory. We just see a Coalescence on the side of Kraken, or on the side of Odyssey, and a Molten Core and a Nano boost. We will be seeing the switch to the Rein Zarya comp, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kraken Skull's finally switching things up, but it might be too late as they engage on the right side here. The Sonic Arrow finding the location of 3 people, allows the Zenyatta to get a nice pick off. Then the Molten Core comes in and the Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt on the side of Kraken Skulls. Muddy Snaps finds 1 with the help of that Nano Boost, but Paradroid comes in with the Coalescence, finds the Mercy. It's looking like Odyssey has the better of Kraken Skulls on this exchange and just needs to clean things up on the point. As Pisha Kurp is contesting on the point, they have a Tracer coming in. They're really in desperation mode. And it's looking like...
That Molten Core hit the door on their way out. They just didn't know what to do with it. They just stalled out.
This is the problem with pirate ship. It's really boom or bust, and when it's busted, it's busted, and you just got to know when it's time to stop.
That is going to be a hard pill to swallow for Kraken Skulls, because now they have to have an almost perfect defense if they want to win this map.
Right, and I mean, I would expect to see them come out with the Bastion on defense too, because what else can you really do when you have such a task put in front of you that you just gotta keep the cart from moving all the way down the first point of Havana. It's not really that far. And with the airtight play of Odyssey, if they just bank ults, they might be able to just win it.
Oh, this should be an easy win for Odyssey at this point, given how far the card has to go. If I'm Kraken Skulls right now, I see no other way to do this than to hold on the cart from the outset. You have to deny every single inch of space, make them fight for it, make it take as long as possible.
Yeah, it looks like Kraken Skulls is going to be going with a Rein Zarya and a Torbjorn Reaper. They're not going to be going with that Bastion. And on the side of Odyssey, we're going to be seeing a double shield with a Junkrat and Zebra Cookie on that. Oh, Zebra Cookie switching to the Bastion. They're going to be running a Bastion of their own. Giving them a little bit of a taste of their own medicine here.
You love seeing Bastion come out. It's very interesting from either side.